Starting your own business isn't as easy as simply declaring that you own a business. So today we are going to go over everything that you need to do to get legal, to get organized, and to get eyes on your product so that you can start making sales. Our first go-ahead video. So, you ready to The first few things that we're going to go over today are going to be internal, behind the scenes steps to get yourself organized and get yourself legal. And then we're going to shift into customer facing steps. Our very first one is to write a business plan. Yes, this feels like a very big step, and it feels like a daunting one to start with, but I believe it's really important. A lot of the research that you are already doing in thinking about starting a business simply needs to be compiled and thought through methodically so that you know that you're starting a business that you believe in, that is going to be profitable, that you believe is going to make an impact in your customers' lives. So let's go over roughly the steps that are involved in a business plan. Your first one is your business description. This is where you're going to go over the concept of your business and your value proposition. So what type of business are you starting? What are you selling? What does this product or service do? What type of a value is it for your customers? So this is an overview of exactly what you're doing. You already have this idea in your head. Let's just get it on paper, outline how it will be valuable to your customer. Next, you're going to look at your industry. What industry are you joining by starting this business? What is the background of that industry? Where did it start? How has it morphed over the years? Where is it now? And what is the outlook for that industry? It is great to look at the industry so that you can find a place to put yourself within the industry and know how you fit. Then you're going to look at your competition. Who else is in this industry that you are joining? What do they sell? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? How are you going to be different from everybody else? A lot of times, especially when you're starting a small business, there will be larger companies that are already doing what you're doing. How are you going to differentiate yourself to show your value to your customer? And then that brings us to your customer. What are their likes? What are their dislikes? What are their demographics? What type of person is purchasing your product? It's very important to know your customer as a whole, not just why they want your specific product, but who are they? How do they live their lives? What do they spend their money on? What do they value? This will help you in the end position your product into their lives and explain the value of your product in their life. Next, you're going to think about the management of your company. A lot of people are starting businesses with just one person, and that is fine. But if you have more than one person helping out in this company, it is good for you to write down their roles, what value they bring to the business, what strengths they bring, what weaknesses. Even do this on yourself. If you do a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats on yourself as a piece of this company, what do you excel at? What do you enjoy doing in the company the most? What aspects of the business may be your weakness? This will help you to know that once you're able to bring on other people, what you might want them to do. Okay, now we're down to an operations plan. This is the nitty-gritty. How are you going to get your supplies? How are you producing your product? What are the costs of everything involved in the business? And what is your break even? This is the nitty-gritty of how are you going to do what it is you are planning on doing when you're starting your business. Okay, so now that you have an idea of your product, how you're going to produce that product or service, and what the costs are, the next step is your marketing plan. How are you going to get eyes on your product? How are you driving traffic? And how are you going to position yourself within the market? Again, we need to look at our competitors. We need to look at the industry we're in. And how are you positioning yourself? What is your value proposition for this product within the market? Then get down to the nitty gritty. Are you going to go through social media? Are you going to have a website? Are you going to have an email list? How are you getting eyes on your product so that you can make that sale? Lastly, we're looking at the financial plan. Now, a lot of times, if you are going to an investor with this business plan, this financial plan needs to be much more detailed. And you may even want to get a professional involved in putting this together. But if this is simply something that you are putting together for yourself so that you feel like you have structure and a plan involved in running your business, then most likely you will not need a professional. Mostly you need to answer, how much money do you need to start your business? And how are you planning on spending that money? Where's that money going to? Do you have fees for a website? Are you going to be hiring an accountant? What are your supplies? What are your shipping costs? All the details and the nitty gritty. How much money do you need and what are you spending it on? You then need to look at your first year, 3 years, 5 years, and how are you planning on making money? Again, bring in your break-even point. How many products do you need to sell to break even and make a profit? So big things is your capital requirement, how much money you need to start with, where you are spending that money, and how you're planning on making money. Okay, that is a quick overview of a business plan. And it is important for you to think through all these things. How formally you do that is up to you, of course. But having this structure and these things thought through will help you in future steps down the road. Next, you're going to want to validate this idea. Go to friends, family, co-workers, and just discuss your business plan. What are you planning on bringing to market? What are you planning on selling? Are there customers out there who are interested in your product? Validating your idea, making sure that you don't have some off-the-wall idea that nobody is going to understand or want to purchase is an important step before you jump in the water. Okay, now that we have our business plan written out and we validated our idea, we are ready to get going. First, you're going to want to register with the state and register with the IRS. This will get your taxes all set, both with the state and with the IRS. Now with the IRS, you are going to receive an EIN number. That number is very important. It's like your business social security number. And that number will allow you to do our next step, which is open a business banking account. It's very important to keep all of your financials separate from your personal money. And so you're going to open a business banking account and you are going to determine your accounting system. A lot of people go with systems like QuickBooks or Wave, or simply start a spreadsheet to keep track of all the money going out, all the money coming in, so that you know where you stand. I have been using spreadsheets from Paper and Spark, and I'm going to link those down below because they are wonderfully simple spreadsheets to use to input all your data from Etsy, from Squarespace, and to keep your books straight so that you're ready for tax season. Okay, all of our behind the scenes organization is done, and now we're ready to turn to customer facing pieces. Our very first customer facing piece is to start a website. You can go to Etsy and just have an Etsy page. You can start one with Squarespace. There are so many places you can go to these days to get your website up and going. So I suggest starting your website and your social media. Doing this research, finding a website name and finding social media handles will actually help clarify and solidify your business name. Make sure that you can get that website and you can get those social media handles of the business name that you want. Now, many times people can spend way too long creating their website. I understand. I was one of them. I was also one who redid her website over and over and over again. As you hone in on your branding, your color choices, your font choices, the way that you speak to your customer, the language that you use, your website will morph and will change along with you. Getting a simple website up is an important first step. So don't focus too much on the details of your website for that first go round. I promise you, you will be going back to your website and you will be tweaking here and there until it is crafted into your brand identity. Okay, we have our website, we have our social media all put together. Next is to start an email marketing account. Now, email marketing is how you are going to communicate with your customer. You cannot rely on social media. You cannot rely on your Etsy shop. You do not own these things. You do not own Instagram. You do not own Facebook. If something happens with your account and you are canceled for some reason, if you do not have your list of customers and their email, you are not able to get in contact with them and communicate with them. So a website, you own that. And now your email list, you're going to start an email list. You can use companies like MailChimp, ConvertKit, and Squarespace even offers their own email marketing so that you can start gathering your customers' email addresses and communicating with them via email. Okay, now that you have your website, your social media, and your email marketing, it's time to think about these pieces as a sales machine. These are not simply individual ways to communicate to your customer. You need to think about a sales funnel. Now, a sales funnel is simply traffic in, so you get eyes on your content, you send them to your website, you make a sale, and then you communicate with them afterwards. So, traffic to your website. Social media is a great way to get eyes onto your website. So, think of your Instagram, your Facebook, if you have a YouTube page. This is how you're getting traffic to your product. So, you take that traffic, you send them to your website, and then you get them to sign up for your email list. Then, both within your website and within emails that you're going to send to your customers, you're going to nurture your customers. You're going to explain who you are, why your product is valuable to them, and that will in turn help you make that sale. Then once you've made the sale, do not let go of those customers. You will then continue to nurture your customers and build community through more emails and through more content on Instagram, on YouTube, in your website, blog posts. So this is your sales funnel. Traffic to your website, get on your email list, nurture those customers, make that sale, and then continue to nurture them and build community after the sale. Now that you have an understanding of what your sales machine looks like and what type of sales funnel you are guiding your customers through, it is time to work on building that traffic. And that is where your content calendar comes to play. You're going to sit down and you're going to figure out how you plan on driving traffic into this sales funnel. Will you be posting on Instagram? Will you be doing Instagram stories? Will you be doing TikToks? Are you going to be on YouTube? What type of content and what type of value are you giving to your customers through these channels? You're going to actually sit down with a calendar and take a look at how often you're planning on writing content, such as blog posts, Instagram posts, and then you're going to get at it. This is how you are driving traffic through your content to your website, onto your email list to make that sale. And then it's a simple rinse and repeat every month. You're going to be looking at your product and seeing how you can better your product, if you want to add more products. And then you're going to be looking at your content calendar and seeing how you're planning on communicating to your customers that month. What products you're going to highlight, getting information from your customers as to which new products they would like to see in the future. This is simply a rinse and repeat every month, and it's the way that you drive traffic and make those sales. Now, one last step is one that I found very helpful as I was starting my business, and that is find your people. I personally design planners, and so I went searching for people that educate in this space. And finding your people is so important. I personally found Society for Creative Founders. They have a conference that I attended that helped me hone in on my customer and my product and really put myself out there. There are so many Facebook groups that you can join around small business, around creative entrepreneurs that really help you find your community and find your people and serve as support along your journey. So hop on Facebook, find some groups, and really find the support that you are needing. Okay, I hope this was helpful as a rough overview of what you need to do in your first year of business to really get on your feet and ready and in a good position to start your small business out. If you have any questions, post them below and I will definitely answer them. And if you're interested in taking a look at my small business, head to sheplans.com and take a look at my planners. Thanks, guys, and we'll talk soon.